sometimes executive authority has to give an opportunity to the officials. And then by the time I saw the affidavit, it was far from what our legal stream had advised. That one, we don't ask for the extension of the invalid tender, because it would be wrong of us to do that. Well, for someone who is afar, the advantage is that it had a capped fee. But in terms of respecting the rule of law, we could not go there with the same tender. And therefore, we wrote to court, volunteered information, and identified firstly areas that were problematic, that the advisory committee, after handing over its work, the work streams came to us to say, we're not going to be able to accomplish all these within a short space of time. And then secondly, the respondents in the first affidavit were CPS, the Minister of Finance, and the Treasury. And we had already spoken about that, but it moved on. And that is why we had to request that it comes back. But also, we need to apologize to South Africans about the whole thing. We thought it was arrogant because it was only talking about what we are going to do. And the picture it was putting, or the picture it put, was a department that has decided about who is going to serve, to provide services in the department. And therefore we had to withdraw, and the senior counsel advocates advised us that firstly we should apologize, because what we have done has put the country under tremendous pressure, more particularly the vulnerable we work with. And then secondly, that we should explain what we have been doing since October 2005. And also what the acting CEO of SASSA was doing, and what the new CEO of SASSA was doing. And therefore, we had to start from scratch and come up with a submission to court that tried to, we tried to humble ourselves to the nation, but also tried to say to the judiciary, it's not because we did not want to do our work. You'll remember that when a court handed over everything to us, we were instructed to tender. And then for a long time, there were 5 companies. And then towards the end, 2 withdrew. And the 3 remaining ones could not accede to the call by SASSA.
Are you refusing to account?
I cannot. refuse to account to Parliament, because we're all supposed to account to Parliament. We did go to Parliament, and then secondly, because of uncertainty amongst our senior officials, there was hoarding of information. Second time, I think I was not around.
But that's the very same reason people are saying you shouldn't have gone to the AU, you should have rather focused on addressing these issues.
I think officials are there to do the work. And when you really have to intervene, it should be when you see that we are not moving anywhere. So also going to Addis was not going to change anything at the time. When I'm not here, there is a minister that is looking after social development, SASSA and NTA. And if the minister thinks there are important things, we would communicate and go through the challenges at the time. I must be honest, we had already started negotiating. And I thought we were negotiating in good faith. We're not going to go there. And then after bringing treasury, and then we go and pronounce what we believe in before finalizing the technical report. SCOPA. I did go to SCOPA before to account. And I had actually thought that they were going to make a follow-up on the issues we had raised. And we had accounted to the Portfolio Committee about SASSA. And my experience is that you go to SCOPA for unauthorized expenditure, irregular expenditure, not to be asked about things that have not been even gone to the process of deviation, because at the time we had not even gone to the process of deviation. But also, PFMA says officials account to SCOPA. But also, it's embarrassing and sad that people who sit in important committees get one side of the story, and in a meeting they talk about things, throw them. This is Parliament. You don't just throw things because you happen to be a friend of someone who works for SASSA. Because I can also do the same. We can all throw things around. I can't do that. You know, I've been through that issue, so I don't want to go back to it. But also, our leaders must always be very careful. They must treat us equally. If there is a problem in social development, you have a feeling that a minister has to come and account. You have a feeling that a minister has to go to a special committee in Parliament. You must not jump others. We must all go there equally and deal with our fair share of work. If you become strong with the others and weak with the others, that's also not justice. And it is not the picture of Parliament that is supposed to be a democratic institution that respects democratic principles. Immediately after finalizing everything, we will report. But also, the President has been saying that everyone who is a grant recipient will get his or her grant on the 1st of April. It's a pity, Sophie, 1st of April is April Fool's Day, but everyone on the 1st of April will get a grant. Those that qualify, all of them, they will get their grants. So, moving forward, I think we are going to try and open up. It's important for us to open up so that everyone understands what is going on.
Are you confident that when people investigate and peruse this contract, finally, when everything is done, nothing is going to point to tendencies of corruption?
Let me commit and say South Africans will know the process moving forward. There is nothing that stops us from accounting, because grant money is for the taxpayers. And if you look into the work that we are doing, we've started accounting as the Department of Social Development, so that our people can see that we are not wasting their money. There is work we are doing. But one other thing that is important is that we are learning on a daily basis. We are gaining experience on a daily basis. And that experiential knowledge has assisted us actually to be very firm on some of the issues.
There are suspicions that the new contract is going to be too expensive.
If South Africans think there is something wrong, or some have heard about the fee, I've heard about 3.5 billion, I don't know where it comes from, because we have not even tightened the issue of the money that we have to use for administrative costs. And we must say that the Treasury has said it clearly that we have 7 billion for administrative work in the office, good services and everything, and therefore we are not going to get extra money. And so we are going to be doing everything with an understanding that we don't have extra money to do a number of